Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, and as John Campea calls me, your existential Mr. Rogers, Robert Meyer Burnett, and this is the Mailbag, the John Campea Show Mailbag for June 10th, 2022. As you know, live on the John Campea Show Monday through Friday, we take your questions, answer them right on the show. But if you don't see the show live and you have something you want to say to us, you want to critique us, you want to send us a movie review, you can anytime, day or night, 24/7. Our operators are standing by at the link right there below. Send us a tip. And if we deem your question or comment appropriate, hey, we'll read it here on the Mailbag. And to that effect, let me prove it to you. Watch. Tristan Chambers says, "Hey, John and crew, it seems chaos at Disney is back. It is being reported that Bob Chapek has fired Peter Rice, who was head of Disney's entertainment group. Supposedly, Chapek told him he no longer fit at Disney, argued with him, and fired him. What are your thoughts?" Tristan, I'm glad you asked. I'm a student of the motion picture industry. Peter Rice was a beloved figure in the entertainment business at Fox. His lieutenant, who was elevated into his position when he was fired, had worked with him or worked at Fox for 25 years. I think this was a red wedding moment for Bob Chapek. He felt threatened by Peter Rice. Peter Rice would have been the man who probably could have succeeded him running Disney, and he got rid of Peter Rice. Once again, I think personally, this was a monumental blunder on Chapek's part. I mean, look, Bob Chapek is a corporate guy. I worked in home video at Disney in the mid-aughts, and he was very beloved there. I have no problem with Bob Chapek. I mean, I don't know him personally. I just know of his reputation when I worked in home video at Disney, working on things like Tron and Emperor's New Groove and Fantasia and Snow White and Chronicles of Narnia, Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. People love Bob Chapek, but he might not be the best fit running Hollywood. And to dismiss someone like Peter Rice, I would imagine David Zaslav, the axe of Zaslav, it also sucks up people. I wouldn't be surprised to see Peter Rice working for Mr. Zaslav next week. I think that was a huge blunder and a big mistake on Chapek's part, but we'll see. D.W. Dunphy says, regarding Ezra Flash, yes, Warner Brothers has spent a lot on this. Yes, the buzz is good on it. But everything Zaslav is trying to do will be crucified in scandal. And how big is the iceberg still? Get it done, put it on streaming, wash your hands, fix this business. Well, D.W. Dunphy, that's easy to say, but when you've spent between $150 million and $200 million, you can't just go like this because someone has a PR problem. I mean, on one hand, let's wait and see what this latest thing is. It's a little weird. I don't know how it's all gone. The idea that Ezra Miller has been cast as some cult leader that can brainwash young girls. Hey, maybe that's true. I think we need to wait and see. It's a bad situation to be in. Look, I just hope the movie's good. I hope all the people that worked on the movie get their just desserts. I hope it wasn't their fault. And if Ezra Miller did a good job on the film, hey, it's a tough thing. We'll see what happens. I think we should just wait and see how this all shakes out. I think this developing situation is a little wacky. I don't presume to know anything about it because I don't. I only know what you've read. It's weird. But let's see how it goes. I just hope that the film stands on its own, and one day we can see it. Corey says, I've really been enjoying the shows, and you guys are great. But what does this mean for Batgirl? Wasn't Michael Keaton supposed to be set up to be in that after The Flash? Do you think that there will be a problem for the Batgirl movie? Corey, there very well could be. Again, I don't know what the continuity is. Again, maybe they'll just release The Flash on HBO Max. I mean, I hope not, because everyone says it's really great. I don't know what the continuity is like, but I would imagine that the Batgirl movie could live on its own. I think its ties into the Flash might be nebulous, and but again, I don't know. I don't have the information. I'm talking out of my behind here because I don't know anything about anything regarding this. But I would imagine that the Batgirl movie could probably stand alone. Ethan says this whole Ezra Miller situation is literally what happened in the first episode of The Boys with the dawn of the Seven. Why is that show always so relevant with the news? Ethan, you make a really good point. The great thing about The Boys is it's incredibly topical. The same way, in a way, that South Park is. It just incorporates it into a more fantasy-like environment. I mean, I think, say what you want about The Boys, not only is it a great genre show, not only is it a great dark satire of modern civilization, not only is it a great superhero show, but it's just also a tremendous story. Regardless of all the genre tropes and what it's trying to do, I mean, it also speaks to things like truth to power, and it speaks to ambition and jealousy. And I mean, in a way, this might seem highfalutin and ridiculous, but The Boys is very Shakespearean. It's a brilliantly written show. Season 3 is incredible, and I think the people that are making it are very smart, and they very much have their hands on the pulse, which is why it's as good as it is. Brandon Entwistle. Are you related to Pete? Hi, crew. I've been watching for over a decade now. My God. Next month, I'm coming on holiday from New Zealand to Los Angeles and Vegas. Thor 4 is coming out while I'm here. Which cinemas should I see it at for opening night for the best movie-going experience in LA? Well, look, I would say this. You could go to a Dolby Cinema in an AMC theater. Great. But if you're visiting LA for the first time and you want to see Thor, Love and Thunder, go to the Chinese theater. See it in the giant auditorium in IMAX. It was shot for IMAX. See it with a huge crowd. By the way, you can buy tickets in advance, so you could do that. That's where I would go. Only because it is Now, by the way, Hollywood Boulevard's a shithole. However, it is historic. And that theater is amazing. So you'll have a good experience when you go through all the crazy homeless people and all that. But still, don't let me put you off. Go see it at the Chinese and take lots of pictures. Joseph, SFL, 1 of 3. I have mixed feelings about watching films with actors that have accusations against them. I realize that it's unfair to the other people involved in making a film for it to be derailed by one bad apple. A while back, I watched a movie with Kevin Spacey that I'd wanted to see since before learning of what he'd allegedly done. I was uncomfortable every time he was on screen, and it took away from my enjoyment of an otherwise good movie. I feel the same will be true for movies with Armie Hammer or Ezra Miller, and maybe that is unfair if the accusations have not yet been proven. But for now, I don't think I can spend my time or money to watch a film while thoughts of what they are accused of are in the back of my mind. Joseph, I can't disagree with you. This is a very difficult issue. It's something that's gone on for time immemorial. Can you separate the art from the artist? And in this day and age, more so than ever before, it's tough. We've got video, we've got TMZ, we've got all kinds of things where you can see the misconduct leveled at people. And I can't tell you that you're wrong because you're not. The fact is you feel how you feel and you can't deny your feelings. This is not a fault of yours. I mean, this is exactly, for me, what I find really difficult, it's like relationships. Whenever I've seen friends of mine and I've liked both halves of that relationship, if I like them, I don't presume to know what it's like for them when the doors are shut. And if they break up, and if I like somebody, it's hard for me to I'm team this person and not team that person. So it's really difficult, and I totally get it. I am able to watch a film. See, to me, human beings are very complex creatures. And how people deal with their real lives, especially Armie Hammer didn't actually eat anyone. He talked about his cannibalistic fantasies, but he didn't do it. It was a little weird. I don't presume to understand, but we make it sound like he committed some incredible crime. As far as I know, he did not. He might have been a douchebag, but when I watch, I love The Social Network. I'm never not going to watch The Social. I love The Social Network. And in that movie, Armie Hammer's twins, the Winklevi, they're supposed to be douchebags. So in a way, what he's been accused of in real life kind of accentuates my experience of the film, because I think they're douchebags in the movie. But you know what? If you feel that way, then you shouldn't watch those performances. Why do that to yourself? And you're not wrong. So what you have to do is be true to yourself, and that's it. Just be true to how you feel. And I would never tell you to do otherwise. Chloe Fanning sends in a tip and says, at the point when we see Reva standing there blocking laser fire from a snowspeeder, that looked like a Power Wheel for a kid from Walmart. Then just give me a story-driven episode without special effects. 2 episodes left, hoping for the best. Well, Chloe, I have to say, that scene when Reva and the snowspeeder, it was just goofy. Here's what I don't understand. Star Wars is now 45 years old as a franchise. We can always look to it. There is how many reference books? I must have 30 or 40 Star Wars reference books on my shelf. The Art of Star Wars times, 13 or something now? I have all those Art of books. I've got storyboard books. I've got the Ralph McQuarrie sketchbook. I have so many Star Wars things. The idea that anything in Star Wars would not make you go is strange to me, because there is so much work that has previously been done you can point to and go, that's kick-ass. That's what I think the frustration is how come all of the Star Wars that we're getting is not awesome? And I think that's actually a good question to ask, because, we have a lot of it, and we can point to the stuff that we think is great, and we wonder, why isn't it great? So I'm with you there. Anonymous sends in a tip and says, I'm not angry with ObiWan Part 4, but I'm very disappointed, like in RoboCop. Dick, I'm very disappointed. Even the good bits, the fortress design, were straight up lifted from other media. Jedi Fallen Order. It seems like the higher profile a Star Wars project has, the worse the writing becomes. I can't argue with you. I don't understand. Star Wars should have, in my mind, the best writers in the business. The best, the most expensive, the most awesome writers you can find. Why you wouldn't is beyond me. But they're trying to make it for a price, which I get. It's incredibly frustrating, especially because there is so much Star Wars. You have 45 years. The first Star Wars novel was Splinter of the Mind's Eye, and I think, if memory serves, it came out in 1978. You have countless comics. Go back to 1991 when the Thrawn trilogy came out and the Dark Empire comic series came out. Look at those two things. All you really needed was those comics, and you could have based an entirely new series off those books and comics. And nowadays, when you have Star Trek ripping off famous science fiction novels and tie-in fiction, you're wondering, why doesn't Star Wars do that? Like you pointed out, or people pointed out, they're borrowing stuff from video games. And those stories are great. Why do they not take the stories? Why do they just take the designs? Don't know. I wish things would be better. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to hear from today's sponsor of this episode of the Mailbag.
We want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Harry's. Now, I happen to be one of these guys that was really fortunate enough to grow up with an absolutely amazing father, Pasquale Campea. And guys, with Father's Day coming up, what better time to share the gift of the Harry's experience with your dad or significant male figure in your life? Right now, you can get a Harry's starter set for just $3 or get free engraving on any premium shave kit for dad when you go to harrys.com/Campea. Harry's gift sets are the perfect gift for any guy in your life, and their Winston razor handle is engravable, so you can make Father's Day even more memorable. Guys, I've been using Harry's razors for a while now, and I can tell you my skin has never felt this damn good. My shaves have never been this smooth. I love Harry's. There's no pricey gimmicks or unnecessary bells or whistles. Their customer satisfaction is the highest in the shaving industry, and there's no risk to try. If you don't like your shave, it's on them. And right now, Harry's is giving their best offer to the John Campea Show listeners. New Harry's customers can get a starter set for just $3, or for a limited time through Father's Day, get free engraving on any premium shave set at harrys.com/Campea. There's never been a better time to try Harry's. Go to harrys.com/Campea to start your own Harry's journey, or to save a few bucks on a gift for a special dad in your life.
And a special thanks to Harry's. My God, do I need to use them. Thank you, Harry's, for supporting this episode of the John Campea Show Mailbag. Maxwell and the Apocalypse sends in a tip and says, why am I wrong? Mr. Zaslev, let's put $120 million into 3/4 of a reshoot. We've got, insert big name male actor here, replacing Ezra. And with big name lead, we should pull $1 billion worldwide. At worst, we break even and we move forward. The problem with that is you still have to come up with the $120 million. Listen, people have to understand, the studios are not sitting on a bunch of liquid cash. They borrow their money to make movies, and they borrow it from financiers. They borrow it from banks. They borrow it from all over the place. They don't just have $120 million sitting around. And then you have to ask yourself, so say Flash costs, for the sake of argument, $200 million to make. They already backed into all those numbers. They're like, okay, with the proper ad campaign, maybe, just maybe, we might make $800 million to $1 billion, maybe on a $200 million spend. If you spend $120 million more, you're now up to $320 million. And conventional wisdom says you have to make 3 times your budget to even break even. Well, 3 times $320 million is $960 million. That's just to break even. Could you ever make any money on that? I don't know, but it's a tough call. It's not as easy as everyone thinks. So, Anonymous says, hello from France. Is that how you say France in France? No, Francais. I love your show, and I follow you since the start, almost, and I've improved my English thanks to you and Critical Role. I have a guilty pleasure movie adapted from a manga, Crying Freeman. I don't know why I like this movie a lot. Well, let me tell you, Anonymous. Thanks to my good friend Dieter Bastian in Saarbrücken, Deutschland. I have a 4K copy of Crying Freeman on disc. And like you, first of all, I loved the Crying Freeman manga. I have every issue. Actually, I have the Viz issues that were, 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I love Crying Freeman, and I kind of like the movie. So you are not alone. And I do not parlez-vous français, but my girlfriend Elizabeth speaks fluent French. Her mother's French. I'm a big fan of French cinema. Amélie is one of my favorite movies. So there you go. What that means, I don't know, but I love Crying Freeman. Derek Large sends in a tip and says, I just watched Martin Scorsese's Raging Bull for the first time, and wow. It's such a hard film to watch, but in a good way. Jake LaMotta is such an unlikable and despicable character, and yet you find just a tiny sliver of empathy for him near the end. Such a great character study. Well, Derek, first of all, I'm going to give you mad props because not only, I think Raging Bull was 1980, 81. It's also black and white. So a lot of people that I talk to, probably you're younger than me. I'm just going to assume that you're younger than me. You don't want to assume anything because if you break down the word assume, ass, you, me. So you don't want to assume anything. But it's a great, great film. It could be very much so Martin Scorsese's best movie. Robert De Niro's performance, I mean, Joe Pesci, Kathy Moriarty, my God, that movie is incredible. So kudos for you for watching it because, man, you are absolutely right. LaMotta, not an easy guy to like, but what a great film. Beautifully shot, beautifully made, a tour de force of cinema. I'm glad you got to watch it, and I'm glad you dug it. It's coming out in 4K, by the way. Jay Bling says, with Deadpool 3 being the first Deadpool movie under the Disney umbrella, while still supposedly retaining the canon of the first two films, what do you think the odds are the multiverse plays a significant role in the story? That's one of two. If Deadpool 3 is indeed a multiverse movie, then I personally would like to see him team up with a lady Deadpool and a kid Deadpool. And I know you don't like fan casting, but I think it goes without saying who should be a kid Deadpool. Well, I think we already saw Kid Deadpool in the Atom Project, and you're not wrong. And same director, that could happen. That would be awesome. I don't disagree with you. I think that Deadpool, he's already in the multiverse. We saw Deadpool goes and kills the real Ryan Reynolds before he can star in Green Lantern. He's already a multiverse character. I think that's a great idea. I think Kid Deadpool, you nailed it. And if they do go in that direction, which, by the way, they very well could go in that direction. I think that's a great idea. I love that idea. We'll see if they do it. But I think Deadpool must tap into the multiverse. Absolutely. 100%. 1.21 Jellywatts says, hi, John and or Rob. Well, it's me. At 2 for 2 great episodes, I think it may be time to consider an Orville New Horizons after show. Well, there's only a few. I mean, I wouldn't mind doing it because the Orville, I think, is great. And this season has been great. The production values are great. I don't know. Here's the problem. After shows are awesome. But the fact is, we do live in the YouTube space, and we wouldn't want to do after shows that don't get any views because that's not beneficial to the channel, to our algorithm, to any of those things. And while I might like to do that, I don't know how many of this audience, God bless you all, would watch. And maybe you would. I mean, if you think that an Orville New Horizons after show could be something we could dip into, because I don't object to it, go down in the comments and leave your thoughts. Thank you so much for that. Great Grapthaw's Hammer. Once again, Great Grapthaw's Hammer. I love it when people bring up Galaxy Quest. By the way, if you guys have not seen Galaxy Quest, shame on you. No, I shouldn't do that. I shouldn't shame anyone. Look, it's a delightful time. It's both a Star Trek parody and its own science fiction film. Go see Galaxy Quest. It's so good. I am 37 on Saturday, says Great Grapthar's Hammer, and I just wanted to say a huge thank you to this crew. Ray and Jonathan, the man with the velvety voice, Rob, my demi-monde, is it demi-mondi? Is it demi-monde? Demi-monde duo, Chris and Aaron, hashtag Demi-monde Wednesday, and the man himself, John Campea. I wish you guys all the success and bring on the filthy. Well, Great Grapthar's Hammer, seeing that it is your birthday, 37, a great age. On your birthday, you should always bring forth the filthy. But do what I do. Practice my ladies' first philosophy. It's always good. But happy birthday. Thank you for the kind words. Very much appreciated. You know what? The only reason we do what we do is because of you, the best audience on YouTube. If we didn't have you guys giving us that kind of great feedback, why do it? So thank you for that. Happy 37th birthday. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, which means you can do everything because I do everything. Have a good time and be safe. And that, my God, Great Grapthar's Hammer, he takes us out. That is the end of this mailbag for Friday, June 10th. My name is Robert Meyer Burnett. You can find me on social media at RM Burnett. I think it's right. On Instagram. Find me on Twitter at BurnettRM. Find me on my own YouTube channel tonight for Midnight Musings at Postgeek Singularity, or find my website, postgeeksingularity.com. Lots of great stuff there. I want to thank producer Jonathan Voico for producing this episode of the Mailbag, and of course, the legendary Ray Ora if he laughs at something I say, that means my day has been made. And most of all, I want to thank all of you for giving us great questions to talk about. Thank you for supporting the channel. I want to thank Harry's for supporting this show. And everyone, we will be back for the John Campea Show on Monday. Join us, like, subscribe, put your comments down there. Tell us what you want. And thank you for being a part of the greatest audience on YouTube.